Well, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. If you are watching on replay, please be sure to leave us a comment and put hashtag replay. If you are joining in live, please send us some emojis so we can see you. And welcome to our Transition Talk. Excuse me, can't talk this morning. It's a Monday.
It's Monday.
Roundtable Talk. This is our second episode we're joining in this week. And so we are super excited about our conversation that we're going to have today, which, as you may know, that Advanced Planning Day is coming up. And so that is our topic today.
It's my favorite topic, Anna.
It's Pam's favorite topic. And, we try to share with all of our doulas how such an important part of our work is right here in this area.
Mm-hmm. It is. Advanced care planning is the key to everything. And most people think that advanced care planning, and especially in the doula world, of course, our doulas don't think this because they know better and we're teaching them better, but most doulas are taught that advanced care planning is just this little tiny segment of life. And they think that you do it at the time of critical illness. And they think that, they get a patient and they've got to run in and do advanced care planning. Unfortunately, that is the way it is because people don't talk about advanced care planning. But it doesn't really matter whether you're 18 or 40 or 80, you need an advanced care plan and you need to do it sooner than later. Most people don't realize, Anna, you've got kids, I've got kids. My kids are grown with families of their own. And where mom's always taking care of everything, if one of my grown kids wind up in the hospital, I can't do anything. It doesn't matter that I gave birth to the human that's having the issue. I can't do anything because by law, they're an adult. And if they haven't said who can do and named an advocate, which is part of what you do in your advanced care plan, then I can't speak for them. I am beholden to the medical teams and to the state. I can't do a thing. And I have known of cases. I recently was told about a situation where someone's son was 18 years old, injured on a motorcycle, ends up in the hospital, isn't married, so there is no spouse. It is his mom and dad, but they have to wait to get court appointed. They have to jump through hoops in order to speak for that child. And that's just not fair. I mean, advanced care planning, I always look at advanced care planning as the last gift that we really can give to those that we love and to our friends, because it takes all the guesswork out of everything that you're doing.
Well, many times too, when I was working in the inpatient unit, we would have families that were coming in, their mom, their dad had a sudden stroke or a heart attack, and they, sent them over to hospice. And many of them, the children, and I say children, but they were, 18, 19, 20 years old, 23 years old, having to make all of these decisions and not knowing which way to go with these things. And then they have the chiming in of other people chiming in of their families and friends. And so, it really brings about a lot of confusion and doesn't allow, and regardless of your age, if you're young and this happens, or regardless if this is, an older, person that's passing and they don't have that advance directive, they don't have their funeral plan ready to go, they're sitting there planning those things instead of having that sacred event happening at the bedside. So I've seen where many families have had to, they're so busy trying to get that, funeral set up, or, going out and doing all these other things, trying to get that ready, preparing for the death, that they even have, I've seen family members miss their last breath of their loved one because they're out in the community trying to get that set up.
It's horrible, and it can all be avoided. I mean, yes, that D word, we are all going to die. And so death is inevitable. It's the one thing that we all share. I don't care what walk of life you're in, we all share that final exit plan. And so we need to plan for it, and advanced care planning is planning. I know everybody gets tickled because anybody that knows me knows that I'll always say to you, go down to the airport with a suitcase in your hand and stand there and wait to get on a plane. And when you get on the plane and then they unboard and you get off, you stand there in the terminal wondering what next to do. No, you plan the whole trip. You've just landed in Italy for the vacation of a lifetime. You know that you're traveling with your family and you know the sites you want to see, or who you want to hook up with. It's a plan, and we need to have a plan throughout our life. I come from a background where I was trained that you set goals. Planning, advanced care planning is a goal. It is the end point of where we will eventually all land. And we need to have it taken care of. You need, like you said, there's nothing worse than the chaos at a bedside when it's inevitable, they're going to pass. There's no funeral plans. Now they don't know what to do about that. And in the chaos, they reach out to the local funeral home. And we all know they end up spending money they don't have to. Because they don't know and they're not educated. And that's what advanced care planning does. Advanced care planning with the right person is not just filling out that state document. It's getting a 3-ring binder that's got everything in it, that's got all your passwords. You've heard me talk about the horror story where I know someone's husband passed. You're smiling, and every time I tell this, I think this is so absurd, but the wife couldn't get in a cell phone. And it was, as I always say, an old-fashioned one, because now you can do face, but back then it was your thumbprint. And she took his phone to the morgue to have the mortician put his thumb on the phone to open up his phone so she could get the things. That is not the way it needs to be. You don't need to have to think about, oh my gosh, where can I turn? You need to have it all laid out, and you need to have that advanced care plan. You need to have an advocate that can speak for you. If I can't speak for myself, I want to know that, in my case, Tiffany is my main advocate, that she's going to be able to say, no, mom doesn't want all these tubes. No, mom doesn't, let death happen naturally, because that's what I've chosen.
Well, and you hit something there about when you said, having somebody to advocate for you. And I know that there's been some time people think, oh, well, I don't have family member here, or I only have family members on the outside. You really, I feel strongly about having someone that's in your community to be your advocate.
Somebody in your community, and also somebody that's not just in your community, that's close to you, someone that knows you, someone that will follow your instructions. And I talk to a lot of people, just like you said, that say, I don't have anybody that's close. And I'm like, okay, you choose your best friend or your next door neighbor you've known for 20 years. And then you may have your advocate that lives in Michigan, but who's here can handle things until Michigan can arrive. Who's here can see it through. And I also suggest, when I'm teaching my class, I always tell people, I think you need more than one advocate. I have Tiffany, which is my middle daughter, but under her, she's got her older sister, and she's got a brother, and she's got another sister. And if those people can't agree, then I have a best friend, and she'll step in and crack the whip and go, this is the way we're going to do it. See, she wrote it down right here. This is what mom wanted. Because sometimes it's difficult even for an advocate to make that decision. So they need, and we talk about building your care teams. That's part of your care team. Your caregivers need their own care team, and you need to do all that in your advanced care planning.
Right. And it's not trying to overstep or to go in a different direction or anything like that. It's having the team together to help facilitate those needs or those wishes of that person. And so, I think one of the things we talk about to encourage our doulas to help their clients is to have a family potluck night. And the ones that can't come, that are not there, have them join in on Zoom and get together and have this conversation.
Yes. You have to have the conversation, and the conversation is difficult, and there's many ways to start the conversation. You can have, like you said, a potluck. There are actually games out there that encourage the conversation. There are so many ways, and people need to engage. They need to talk about it. The going joke in my family is, don't let the conversation get boring, because Pam sticks and talk about advanced care planning death. And it's true, because if I've got a captive audience, I will ask anybody. I've been known to ask the waitress, do you have an advanced care plan? Because I'm worried about people not having this in place. It's such a critical part of life for us to have in place. And as doulas, I think it's critical that we know how to bring that and present that to the public, because some people think if they're handed that state form, that's all they need. And it's so much more in detail.
Oh yeah. And, and that brings into another area too. One, doulas getting, okay, well, before I go into that topic, but having, your advanced planning looked at and done and reviewed at least, every year or so.
Oh yeah. I always say it's like, we review our insurance policies yearly. You review your advanced care plan yearly, because it changes. I mean, if you have a birth, then that can change the circumstances of an advanced care plan. If you have a death, what if your spokesman and your advocate dies before you? And you don't think about it at the time they die, but then you review your policy and you go, uh-oh, I need to find somebody to speak for me. I forgot John was my spokesman. So yeah, you constantly have to review it, and you have to review it because insurance changes. And when your life insurance changes, if it goes up or it goes down, this changes things that are involved in your advanced care plan. Because part of your advanced care plan is having financial power of attorney, having your will. Another thing most people don't understand is your advanced care plan is what speaks while we're breathing. Once we quit breathing, then that's when your will comes into place. And that's another intricate part of your advanced care plan. You need a will. You don't want the state coming in and dividing up your assets because there's no will to probate through court. And you don't want. And it happens, I hate to say this, but death can bring out the very best in a family, and it can bring out the very worst in a family. And I recently witnessed in a circumstance where I worked with a family, the gentleman was in the bedroom dying, and his 16-year-old granddaughter had the nerve to ask the aunt, who was the advocate and the caregiver, when are they going to read the will? Ding, 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 ding. What? Because she felt like she was going to come into this great inheritance. That was mind-blowing. That was mind-blowing. So you really have to get all your plans in place. You've really got to know what direction you're going in, and have it all where you can review it and go over it and know who's going to get what, know who's going to do what. Even in advanced care planning, because as you know, and those in International Doula Life know, I teach an advanced care planning course, and my course is very in-depth. And we talk about, we've spent 5 weeks building an advanced care plan. Now, most people that know anything about advanced care plans are going to say, 5 weeks, what were you doing? But we were learning about all the components, and you need to know how all the components work. You need to know, because it's not just one document, it's several documents that make up your advanced care plan. We're going to spend the next 6 weeks building our comfort care plan, planning the funeral, doing the eulogy, looking at what you want someone to say. Do you want a celebration? How do you want to be buried? All these things are part of advanced care planning. And most people don't understand that.
Well, and sometimes it scares me when someone says, oh, well, I took this little 2-hour course, or this 4-hour course, or this 2-day course, and it was a few hours each day, and that they think that they have everything that they need in their toolbox. If you're not taking, and this is just I guess a guideline to say, if your course and you're not getting educated with more than, I don't know what, 20 hours or close to it, you're not getting everything you need.
No,
you're not.
You're not. And you're not getting everything you need when you take the courses and they say, well, you need your state advance directive. That's true. And then they'll say, well, you need an advocate. Well, that's true. but they don't get in, and most people are not aware of what an advanced care directive really says. They're not aware of what can happen if they choose to have CPR, if they choose to have feeding tubes, if they choose. There's so many components that in varying ages you want to know. You want to know how this is going to affect me. And when somebody says, here, just, do you want this or this? Yep. Okay. And you sign and you check off. People aren't aware of what they're signing. They're not aware of what they're agreeing to. And that's what people need to be educated. People need to understand, and doulas need the education, because we're the ones that are informing the public. We're not medical professionals. We're not legal professionals. But in the case of IDLM, we're all people that, as I always lovingly say, we have boots on the ground. We're working, we're in the industry, we're talking to people, we're looking at the changes. We know, you and I are going to take a class at the end of this week on MAID, which is medical aid in dying, which is new, not to our state, and not new to the United States, but there's been some changes in it. And one state is stepping up to make major changes. And so we're going to take a class from that state to learn what we can do to assist people. This is advanced care planning. People think MAID isn't. V said voluntary stop eating and drinking. That is part of advanced care planning.
There's a lot of things.
Oh, there's so much. I mean, people that have Alzheimer's and dementia need advanced care plans, because there's going to come a time when they can't speak for themselves. And don't burden a family with this. And when I say burden, people say to me, I don't want to be a burden to my family. You don't? Let's get your advanced care plan together. Let's give them a guidebook.
There's nothing wrong with just doing your advanced planning. Get it done. Take 5-10 minutes, whatever, after you have it done to review, and get it done. Get it done.
And I know this is going to come as a shock, but just because you do an advanced care plan does not mean that you're going to die next week or next month. But what it does mean is, if you're in a car wreck and suddenly you can't speak, there is no guesswork. You can be at peace because you're not worried about, oh my gosh, I didn't plan. Oh my gosh, what about?
Yeah.
I mean, even down to, myself, I have 2 little Yorkies. I don't want something to happen to me and me be laying in a hospital bed going, who's going to feed the dogs? It's all there. It's part of my advanced care plan. It's part of knowing who's going to step up and do what.
Well, and it makes me, it kind of worries me sometimes when you hear people say, oh, well, as long as you have just your advanced plan, your form from your state, that's all you need. No, you don't. You need a care plan about how do you want, if you go to the hospital, having a setup of what you need so that whoever your caregiver is can make sure that those things are there. When you're in your deathbed and you're dying, what do you want there? Those plans need to come in play too. So when I think of advanced planning or advanced care planning, I think of the whole picture of your forms, your state forms. I think of, do you have your care plannings? Do you have those care plans about, what do you need at a hospital stay? What do you need if you just, there's a change and you just maybe, do you want to come home on hospice, or do you want to go to an inpatient unit? And it is so true too about what, you said, Pam, about, reviewing over every year. I had a client who was in her 90s and said, honey, we got to look at this over again. Half the people are gone. Those things happen, especially to our older generation, because, through the years, maybe she's, I haven't done it in over 10 years,
Time to review.
It's time to review. So big tips and give, of information today that I think we want to make sure that everybody recognizes and thinks about. One, if you're a doula out there working and helping your clients with advanced care planning, are you trained? Do you have all the tools you need in your toolbox? Don't think that if you just go for a small little training that you've gained everything you need, because there, again, like we've talked about, there's much more to it and much more things that need to be talked about. And, do you have yours done? Everybody needs to get theirs done. So
what's shocking, Anna? In the medical industry, you go to a doctor's office, you're going to have surgery. And that doctor's office most often gives you the state advance directive if you say you don't have one. This is terrifying. Most of the physicians that are handing you that form haven't even taken the time to do it themselves. If you ask in a medical office, can you explain this to me? Most of the time, they don't understand all of it. And so, again, this is where, as a doula, we come in and we can assist families. Just because we're doulas doesn't mean we come in at the end of life either. I think of doulas as your insurance agent, your doctor, your hairdresser. We're the people you come to that you get to know that are always there with you, so that when the time does come, you know who that person is.
Exactly. And you have to get it done early, as soon as, I always tell doulas, encourage students, people who turn 18, get them done. There's even pediatric advanced directives out there as well. Take a look at it. But doulas that are out there, consider this into part of your offering. Get your training that you need and consider it a part of your offering. Because again, I'll explain here too, I always say work your business full circle. That is, if you want to be full-time at this, which we have a lot of students doing this already, graduates, is having your companion client, having your advanced planning, your life planning clients, and then your end of life clients. Because let me tell you, in one of those three circles there, somebody is going to turn into your end of life doula client.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's inevitable.
Or then someone they know will turn into your end of life client.
Exactly.
Because you help them.
Exactly. And then two, getting out in your communication. Don't get me wrong, social media is great and all, right? But you need to go out into your community and get a big thing going out in your community of sharing this, because I have talked to so many people this week, in the last week alone, who didn't realize that end of life doulas can work with people and clients before a terminal diagnosis.
Oh yeah.
They don't realize that we can help do other things.
And that's when we're really, I think doulas are so valuable across the spectrum, but I really think that in advanced care planning, we are so critically needed, and we are so important for that stage of planning. That doula that's trained in advanced care planning, that understands everything that goes into it, can really set the pace for a family going forward. It's just, like I said, you don't want to get me started, and you have today. I'm sorry.
Well, and there's just so much, so I posted the link to Pam's upcoming course in our comment section here. And, take a look at it. If you have questions, you can always email Pam. I will put her email as well here. But you can always email her and set up a discovery. If you have questions, and there's a little free preview when you click that link. All right. Okay, there we go. I got that in the comment section. So, there's so much in this area. And so I always tell doulas, get really comfortable with it. Get, all the education you possibly can about it. You're not just going to get it in a 1 or 2 hour training. So beware of that. And that it's just not doing that state paper. It's doing these other things as well.
Well, and I do have to add, since you put the link in, thank you for doing that. But the other thing that in this class, I make sure that it applies to the state you're in. This class is structured so that every student is getting what they need in their state, and they're getting all the links, they're getting all the information, they get access to all the forms, everything they need. If they take this class, walks them through it, so they've done it for themselves when they complete the course. This is not a course where you've got quizzes here and quizzes there to move to the next modular. You can just keep moving, because you're going to be meeting with me personally. I'm just finishing up the first round of student interviews or chats or whatever you want to call them, and we're doing reviews on where they're at. This will happen again when we finish the next 6 weeks. We'll go through another review before graduation, so that I make sure they've got their books, They've got their forms. They've got everything they need, and they know how to put their hands on it to go out there and help in the community. And, Anna, you said something really valuable, and I literally was thinking about this the other night. We are so dependent on the internet. We are so dependent on being able to chat like you and I are. But if tomorrow the satellites blow up the internet, you're going to have to get out there and hit the pavement in order to make a living. You're going to have to get out there and talk to your community. So why wait? Get out there and start doing community meetings. Get out and start talking to your residents in assisted living, or your families in daycares. And we go through all this in the class too, about how to talk to people and to get groups of people involved. Start getting out and communicating. Don't leave everything to the internet. Know your community. Build a following in your community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely have to. Like I said, you're going to run across those people too. Oh, I already have it. Oh, really? Well, how long ago did you get it done?
10 years ago.
Yeah. And then when they tell you, 10, 20 years ago, then you say, oh, so look at those every year.
Yeah. Is Aunt Bessie still alive, or has she passed on?
Right. Did you have is there some new grandchildren?
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. And so it's really, really important to get and meet with your clients all the time, or once a year, and get that done. So, well, Miss Pam, is there anything else that you want to add?
I could just keep going, but I could talk for hours on this. I could really get into some technical stuff here, but it's a lot. And people, because there is so much there, people really need to know. It's so important to find out. And if somebody's listening to this and they're just curious, hey, I am happy to talk to the curious. The more people that know and get the information and can make informed decisions, the better it is. Yeah,
absolutely. So, what day is advanced planning? Is it this week or next week? I thought it was this week.
Well, Tuesday night is our advanced planning course for this week. And right now they're on Tuesday nights. The May class starts May 5th, I believe is the date. And those classes are going to be on Thursdays.
Okay.
Night. Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, please, if you are popping in late, feel free to watch the replay, and be sure to have hashtag replay for us. Yes. And feel free to share this as well. Just hit the little share button there and share it with your Facebook friends and family. Or if you are catching this on our YouTube or Instagram, please feel free to catch our link. If you're on Instagram, you'll be able to go to our link tree and catch the link there and share it. And same thing with our YouTube. You can go on there and share it as well. Before we close, we just want to give out a few reminders of some exciting things that we have going on here at IDLM. So one of the first things is we are launching our Doula Mentors program. And so this month it is free if you are a community member. And if you're not a community member, I encourage you to go to join. And I'm going to put the link in here because it'll be easier, because I'm going to probably mess the whole linkage up. But it's just join.internationaldoulalifemovement.com. And you can access all the things that everybody gets to see. Because I get questions all the time like, hey, can I come in? How do I get to see your CE night that you're having? Well, that's what we give our students for free. Students and graduates get that a lifetime membership for free. And then anybody that is not taking one of our core classes, they can then come in and sign up and join our monthly membership for that. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the, and Carrie Lynn said, Advanced Care Planning Day is April 16th. Thank you, Carrie Lynn. Yes,
that's right. We failed to mention that. That's a Saturday. Thanks, Carrie Lynn.
I'm going to put the link to the community in the comment section. So if you want to join into our family, you are more than welcome to hit that link that I put in there and join us. And you'll be able to see all the different CE nights that we do. Because again, like I said, our community is getting our Doula Mentors program for free this month. And then come May, we'll start our membership for mentors program, which is going to be amazing. We've got so many different exciting things. I'm not going to give them all away because I want you to go check on May 1st on that link that I just shared for the community. You'll see the sign up link there. But I want you to check this out because we've got some things that I have not seen anyone ever do. And so I'm super, super excited about that. And then Miss Pam, tell them about our new book club that we are started.
I'm excited about the book club. We are starting a book club that is going to be beneficial. We're going to have some guest speakers. We're with the books that we're having. We're going to have a book. Some books are going to take longer to read. I'm working on a program for the book club that I'm going to introduce that's going to actually be a year-long program with one book. And people are thinking, how can you do a year-long program with one book? It's going to be different. But it's a book that I myself have worked through, and it makes you really stop and think about your own mortality. So we've got that coming up, but we've got a whole list, and I'm not going to share the books we've got coming or the authors that we've got coming, but we've got authors coming in that will host CE nights for those that are members of the movement and members of our community in the book club. So it's going to be exciting. But the thing that I want to do with the book club is every book is a tool for your doula bag. The books that we're going to read are going to help you, whether they're short reads or whether they're long reads or whether they're intense studies. Everything we do is another tool. And I might add that with our book club, that's part of being a member of our community. That's not something you pay for extra, but you do have to be a member of the community to participate.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of things, and that's one thing too you said that was true, you know, that I wanted to bring out, point out is about when we do our CE nights or we have events or workshops, it's not just IDLM instructors who, again, like Pam says, they actually have their boot on the ground, they're working in this industry. But we do also have special guests that come in, special guest speakers. They could be authors or someone who's really amazingly trained in that area. So it's just a wide range of people that come in and share with our community. And so, you know, there's just so much there that you can reach out and get. It's growing. Yeah. So and then we also have, don't forget, we do have our May course, our end of life doula course coming up. We've been asked about, you know, we typically have two different courses, or two in the fall and two in the spring, or excuse me, two in the spring, winter, and then two in the fall. And so we have opened up a May offering that will be 2 weekends in a row. And we are going to go 8 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, for 2 weekends, and go through our doula program. So you still get everything that you get in our any other class of our doula program offerings, but it'll just be 2 weekends.
And it's intense study. But you
So,
get everything.
But you get everything.
You get it all. And one of the benefits to joining the community is we're a family. This is a tribe. And I know I hear over and over and over again from the people that join, I was looking for a place. I needed to belong. You're not a number with us. You know, we reach out, Anna and I reach out to every new member that joins, and we're always available. That's the one thing about Anna and I. We are available by email. We're available by phone. We try to be present at all times. And Anna and I still do active doula work. So from time to time we have clients, so it makes us a little delayed in getting back, but we're always available.
Yeah. And if one of us can't get with somebody, we ask the other and work together. So that's, I mean, all of our admin staff is a big team here. So we want to make sure that all of our doulas are supported. And if you're a new doula out there, maybe you're considering becoming an end of life doula, you know, please reach out to us and schedule a discovery with us and let us talk to you. Because I always say, I wish I had somebody to tell me those things when I was looking around. And so, you know, I'm very, and so is Pam, we're very straightforward. We're going to tell you what it is and what it isn't. So, you know, so if you're considering becoming a doula, if you are already and a doula working, have a doula practice, or you're a doula that's already been trained, feel free to consider our end of life doula program. We've had a lot of people come by who have taken other courses just to get that extra added bonuses that we give out. And so if, or just, what do we call them? Our longtime learners that want to train, hey, you're welcome too. So come by and feel free to join in any of our end of life doula courses. And then too, we offer a lot of other things. We have our grief doula and our menopause doula program. We're going to have a pediatric doula program in the fall, a dementia doula program. We have our aromatherapy doula program and aromatherapy formulations program. I'm hoping I didn't forget anybody. We have a lot of different things. So a lot of different areas. And it's what is amazing that I find is that, a lot of our doulas, they take these other courses, for other doula work, and then they incorporate it into their practice. And so it makes them such a well-rounded doula to be able to offer support in many different areas. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The more you know and the more you can offer, the better for you. Because again, most people think doulas come in at the end of life, and that is so not true. We're there for life. We're there to help you live a better life and to plan for life in general. And then we're there when you need us in the end. Yeah,
exactly. And I just remember too, I don't know if I said perinatal doula program that we have too. A lot of our doulas that are end of life doulas take the perinatal doula program to be able to work with mothers, and so they're able to work that full circle of life with clients. So please reach out to me or Pam if you have any questions. The links I have added to the comment area of our thread here, and then if you're watching on YouTube or Instagram, we'll have them linked in our link tree or our description area. All right, well, we are going to close out for today, and we are so excited. We'll be joining you next week to chat some more and have some more industry discussions here. So please, again, feel free to reach out anytime to me or Pam, and everybody have a wonderful week.
Yes, and get your advanced care plan done.
And get that advanced care plan done. Absolutely.
It's that month, advanced care plan.
It is. Everybody needs to do it. So do it.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining in, and have a great day.
See you all again soon.